everybody. Did anyone do some baking with my chopped caramel slice?
It was
breakfasty. It's very basic but very yummy. So excellent. Thanks for having me back and thanks for attending. Sarah's still off sick, so she won't be attending today. So there's just the 7 of you. We've got our computers. We'll just be doing a little bit of research. We'll be doing an activity today as well. So that'll be exciting. Hands-on. But first of all, what I'm going to do is get you to sign your attendance sheet so that when we finish the course, you will get your certificate. So if I pass that around, I can just sign and pass it around, please. Alright, can we make sure all phones are off as well? We'll just don't get interrupted. Let's get you home to your loved ones so you can enjoy the rest of your day. Okay. Exits are the same. Front door, back door, laundry, toilets are down the hall to the left and then right down the hall as well. So feel free to get up and go to the toilet if you need to. Water, tea, coffee is all sorted. If you need something, just help yourself. So on your tables you should have your copies of your legislations that we handed out last time, and you've all got your workbooks still, yeah? Yep. Okay, excellent. I've also got beside that, because I still don't have my projector or screen, I've given you copies of the PowerPoint presentation that I am giving to you, so you can follow through if you like. You can make notes on it too, so it's yours to keep. Alright? So, let's go. Moving on. Okay. So before we start, I just want to give you a little bit of information which I found quite fascinating, and I did a little bit of research. So we're talking about the hair and beauty industry, and this is a fact. In the past 5 years, the industry has expanded. Obviously, you can see the salons and barbershops just popping up everywhere. So which means that more money has been made, which means increased revenue. But do you know that the industry has increased by 0.8%, which means it's increased by $6.5 billion in revenue. Isn't that insane in 5 years? And they actually projected, they did a bit of a projection, and the money that's been made is more than what they expected. So that shows you how much growth there is in this industry. Like, that's insane money, isn't it, really?
Is that because more males are probably getting services that they never used to?
Yeah, people are becoming more image aware, aren't they? Yeah. They really are. And men, we're looking at all the, you know, you just got to look on the fashion catwalks even now, the amount of male models in the magazines, you know. And we were talking last session about the beards and the, you know, the moustache trends and the, you know. I saw a picture the other day, a friend of mine is in Las Vegas and she's at a hair show, and there was this guy and he had this beard that was almost curled and placed, and his moustache was curled, but then he had this amazing braid in his hair, and he was up presenting and cutting and doing things, and I just saw that and I went, wow, like that, you know, years ago you wouldn't see that. It was, you know, but the creativity, I guess, that self-awareness, that self-image, everyone's so image conscious, aren't they? You know, even, you know, with the beauty, you look at all the services that are available now with the Botox, and, you know, nobody wants wrinkles, so, you know, so, but $6.5 billion.
Just doing the math on that, that says that the total revenue is $81.25 billion a year.
There you go.
There you go. That's insane.
That is insane. All right, thanks for that, Matt. That's really good information. So the reason for this increase is expansion. There's more competition. So as we just said, business is popping up everywhere, you know, because of this rising awareness of image. Social media is crazy. The expansion and the growth. People are more aware, aren't they? They can have anything, anytime. If they want to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, they can look and see what the latest colour trend is, and then they go to their salon, and if they can't do it, then they'll move on to the next salon and the next salon and
Actually,
the next salon.
$812.5, I'm sorry, $812 billion.
Yeah.
Oh, That's insane.
That's
Sorry.
insane, okay? So social media has helped create this image awareness, hasn't it? I mean, everything's
Yeah.
online. We look on Facebook, we're looking on Twitter, we're looking at, you can learn how to do your hair online if you really want to.
Plus your salons are opening longer too. They're having 2 or 3 late nights and full day Saturday, open Sundays. Like it used to not be like that. So they're opening more. So
Yeah,
more staff, more people, everything.
yeah, fantastic. And the population's just growing
Yeah.
immensely, isn't it? I mean,
Mm.
what have they're saying Australia's going to grow another 400,000 people. I think I was reading an article in the next couple of years. Like that's insane. So you can imagine what the industry is going to do after that. I mean, more businesses will pop up. You know, it'll be just it's almost like it's going to get totally saturated.
Well, everyone works such different shifts now. No one's doing that 9 to 5 job. So your salons need to be open extended hours at different times to cater for shift workers, people that are constantly, on day work.
Yeah.
They're off at nights.
Yeah. But it's also creating, in a positive light, it's creating employment, isn't it?
It
for us?
is.
So if we can kind of move around a little bit, if we want to, and more apprentices are getting hired, and
You can
so anyway, this just if you have a look, I got this reference from the Australian Market Research Report, September 2018. So it is true facts, just so you know that I'm not making it up. All right. So what we're going to do after that little bit of knowledge, do you find that insane?
Yeah,
It was like
it's mind-boggling, isn't it?
Holy dooly, like where we've come from, and
Yeah.
now look
And
at
why are
us.
our wages still so low?
Yeah, something needs to change about that.
I mean,
doesn't it?
Livy's great, she pays above award wage, so I kudos to Bella.
Yeah.
But there are some people out there that are still on just their basic, I think it's just over $23 an hour or something. Yeah, they're just on that
And
flat.
no lunch breaks.
No, at least at
Still.
Livy books in, everyone has to have a lunch break in the computer, so it's done. We can move our lunch breaks up and down, but it's just in there, so nothing
Yep.
is booked in, so
And
you
that's
have a break.
Business salon
That's
service
exactly
structure
right.
that she's, created.
That's why it's great.
Makes the employees happy, makes,
Yes.
she has employee retention,
Yes.
Vanessa's been, she's retired now, but she was with Livy for 30 years,
Yeah.
which is saying something, isn't it?
It
Okay.
is.
Okay, so we're just going to recap session number 1. Did everyone enjoy it? Did I explain it myself clearly? It wasn't too hard. Nobody felt, pressured.
No.
No? Okay. So last session we talked about what other industries are influenced by our industry, the hair and barbering. That was TV, beauty, fashion. We looked at industry structure and operations and how new knowledge can assist with sales and services. So it makes you better at your job. You've got more knowledge and skills, doesn't it? We looked at career paths and choices. What did we talk about with our career paths and choices? Where are you working, Eliza?
just liberally. Well,
No, if you were to remember we were talking about the prison. So we were talking about the different careers. So you were saying that maybe you could work in a prison.
you can, with hairstyling, you can work in a lot of different jobs.
Yeah.
You can also work in a prison and
Yes.
Or the Kardashians.
Something to think about.
That was fun.
But I don't think
Barbara
anyone here is going to be
Kardashian,
working with a Kardashian.
But then we could also, as Leanne said, we could dedicate our time and donate our time in hospitals, couldn't we? And even to the elderly, some of those people
Yeah.
just want people around them, and
Well, some of them don't have families, and it's like you're paying it forward a bit. You volunteer a little bit of
we
time,
can give back.
go cut a little hair, and
Yeah.
you have a chat with them, even sit and have a tea with them.
Yeah,
I did
just
that
have a
last week,
conversation.
and they would just like, I thought it was brilliant, the story you said, when you
Yeah.
come back to work.
Yep. All right, let's move on. So today's objectives are, we're going to source and use information on legal and ethical issues. I know it sounds a bit boring, but I promise it'll be really simple. We just need to go over those just for legislative reasons. That's a big word, isn't it? Legislative. And update industry knowledge. So we're always updating. We updated last session. We're going to do a bit more updating. And we're going to focus a little bit on that legal and ethical. I know it's a bit boring, but we've got to do it. So let's do it, okay? We're also going to do a little bit of a hands-on activity, as I said, so, because we're going to go into a bit of hygiene, so we're going to do a bit of keeping up. Okay? Right, like last time, we're going to do a little bit of verbal communication too. I just don't want it to surprise you, so we're going to do a little bit of that as well. Okay, and we're also going to do our workbooks, which you all have. Okay, so you know where the toilets are, you know where the phones are off, exits are, everyone's right for a drink before we get started. All right. We are going to now obtain information on laws and regulations specifically relevant to the hairdressing and barbering industry, and we're going to work compliantly, so which means we're going to do it properly, doesn't it? Okay. So last session we touched a little bit on some laws and some regulations. You know, you've still got your privacy acts beside you and your legislation. And your consumer, when we talk about laws and regulations in the hair and industry, barbering industry, some of the laws I think about is what, cleanliness, so sweeping of hair. So we need to keep the salon tidy, don't we, and clean so nobody hurts themselves, we don't contaminate. We need to make sure the clients are safe and that we're safe. So I always think, like we're using hot irons, we're using straighteners, so we need to make sure no one gets burnt, don't we? So we're kind of focusing on a bit of safety for everybody. So what does it mean, do you think, what's a Privacy Act? If you're in a business or you're working with your clients, what does it mean? What does the Privacy Act mean to you? Can anyone tell me?
Keeping like client details secure, so
Yeah.
other clients don't see their details.
Yeah. So not telling anyone any information about that client. That's kind of personal.
The staffing details as well is on pretty much, it's on the computer rosters. You don't want the clients to see certain information about the staff either. Like,
Yeah.
it works both ways.
Yeah, and it's actually illegal to
It
share
is.
information. You can actually get fined. There could even be, you know, if it's something serious, it could even be jail time, I'm
Yeah.
thinking. So that's why Libby really wanted me to give you these and to go through it a bit, because as hairdressers sometimes we do tend to, and barbers, we talk to a lot of people, and we just need to make sure we don't let information slip that we shouldn't. Okay? And health and hygiene standards. Okay, so with health and hygiene, as I said, we don't want to spread disease. We don't want people to get hurt. We don't want to get hurt. We don't want to get diseases either, do we? And they are out there, you know, your HEPs and, you know, different things. And people have, you know, different scalp conditions. You've got to,
Nits.
yeah, head lice, that's right. So we've got to be really aware, don't we?
Also got to make sure you don't put the wrong chemicals in their hair, because if you do, it might turn out pretty bad.
Absolutely.
Like if you're supposed to put like this sort of hair, like say they want their head like pretty like curled and they want like a hair dye, and you accidentally put a chemical in that might be used to make the hair dye, and it's bad for people.
You can have reactions,
It
can't
could
you?
react. They could end up in. They could really be. They could damage their hair. It
Absolutely.
could damage a lot, which we don't want to damage
Yeah.
hair because it's hair.
Well, then it becomes
Exactly.
like insurance matters. Because our profession is such a hands-on, we're personally touching people. You need to have insurances in place to protect yourself, clients.
Yeah, and Olivia and Eliza
And
being the
boss
first year
can
apprentices,
lose
you know,
their
they're really
business.
learning about that right now. So it's probably a little bit daunting, and I know that you're not too far into your apprenticeships, but these are just some of the laws. We're going to just touch on them, and as you progress through your trade, you'll learn a little bit more about that. All right? Okay. So let's also talk about consumer law. So does anyone know what consumer law is? Can anyone tell me?
It's meant to protect the consumer. So there are laws in place
Yeah.
that protect, if you pay for a service or you buy something, you're also protected being the consumer.
You are, and that means you can't mislead anybody. So Libby has a 100% guarantee on all her services and all her products and all her stylists. So the first year apprentices, for example, won't be pretending that they know how to foil someone's hair. Because they can't, and that's misleading. So, or we're not going to say, oh, that product is great if it's not. and Libby wouldn't have a product in her salon that isn't. And she's also not going to charge too much for her products because that's misleading, isn't it? So you have to be fair. You have to give the clients your word, pretty much. So no misleading, okay? We can't mislead and we can't lie, all right? So let's go to the next slide, slide number 6, and we're going to talk about some WH&S. Okay, so we're talking about health regulations, consumer law, privacy acts. Okay, so what is WH&S or OH&S? Some different people read, you know, and view it differently. It has changed. It used to be OH&S and now it's WH&S.
Yeah, occupational health and safety.
Yeah, so what does it mean to you? Can anyone?
Just so you have a safe working environment.
Yeah, about safety. Anything else that we can
to not prevent illness and to keep safe
Absolutely,
for
yeah.
you and your clients.
Well, because we're, oh sorry, keep going.
And other staff around you, because if you do something, then the staff might walk by and also get hurt
Absolutely.
as well as you.
And that's our responsibility, and obviously Libby's and everyone involved, to reduce what risks. We have to reduce them. If someone hurts themselves, as Mel pointed out, like insurance matters, and we don't want to see somebody get hurt, do we, anyway? So as I've got down on this PowerPoint, I've got, so WH&S, OH&S, we want to create a safe environment, don't we? We want to reduce risks, we want to prevent illness and injury. There's a lot of insurance matters if anything does happen, so we want to, you have to pay your insurance obviously, but you don't want to have to go there. Okay, so it's up to us to keep hazard exposure low as possible for clients and for ourselves. So say, for instance, hazards low for us would be what, using our PPE, so we're not getting exposed. Yeah, so many things, so we need to keep ourselves safe as well. Okay, we are going to open up our workbooks, please. We're going to do question 1 and 2. If you just look down, you'll see there's session 2. Yeah, and it's going to be on page 3. Okay, so what are some reasons we need to follow WH&S, OH&S in the workplace?
To keep ourselves and our clients safe.
Very good, Jen.
Yeah, your duty of care.
Duty of care, and it's the law, isn't it? Like we have to, we have a responsibility.
For health?
Health reasons, yeah. We want to reduce those hazards, don't we, as much as we can. And as employees, we have a responsibility to also, if we see something that shouldn't be happening, or it's going to happen, or could happen, we need to make sure we fill out a hazard report, don't we? So that we keep everybody safe, okay? And then also, a big thing is about insurance. When you're a business owner, is insurance. So make sure you write insurance down there too. And where do we get those information, the information on laws and regulations?
From the top worker, because they might get told that they need to tell their clients.
So Libby, their boss or manager. Where else do we find? We find it on the internet, don't we?
Your government organisations with the internet, because they class all your laws, so your boss or manager may not be updated.
That's right.
So you can check yourself just to say, oh, excuse me, Libby,
Yeah.
I noticed this, but Libby's pretty good.
Yeah.
She's on top of it.
So under the top desk, there's always copies of all the legislations and laws, so you can actually have access to them at any time. It's law for that. But also, as I've given you today, you know, because it's law for me to actually give you copies,
Yes.
so I have to. Otherwise, I won't be deemed competent at doing my job, and I'll get into trouble, because WH&S is so important for everybody, even a trainer. Okay, so everybody written a few of those down?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we are going to do an activity. Just bear with me for 1 second. All right, so because we've got 2 young apprentices, I wanted to keep an activity that's very basic. So we just spoke a little bit about hygiene and laws. So for me, when I think of hygiene, obviously we want to keep our clients' exposure down, don't we? So keeping up a client is very, very important. So does someone want to be my model? Oh, Eliza, come on up. Okay. So keeping up a client properly is very important. Why? Can anyone tell me?
To protect the client's clothes.
Absolutely.
Colour.
Absolutely. Colour, hair. We don't want hair to go all over them, do we? So what we're going to do, I'm going to demonstrate, and then I'll ask a question. If you need me to go over the demonstration, I'm more than happy to do that as well. So, but first of all, we start with our towel. Thank you, Eliza.
No problem.
I'm going to just sit you forward a little bit. Okay, so make sure it's over the shoulders, around the front. You can, if somebody has a collar, obviously always tuck that into the collar. Eliza's not wearing one today, so I'm just going to sit that high up on her neck. Just probably, you know, an inch below the ears. Okay, because we do intersection and access hair. Okay, get you to keep your legs nice and still and straight for me, please. And then we're going to drape it over the legs, because even when we're cutting at the front or the sides, the hair tends to go down, and even when blow drying, it gets blown everywhere, doesn't it? Okay. And we go in. And you don't want to do your keep up too tight, obviously, we don't want to strangle our clients, do we? But just enough room to get 2 fingers in, you know. Yeah, we don't want when they're turning blue, you know, you've done it a little bit too tight, don't you? So, okay, then I'm going to get you to sit back. And then I'm going to drape the cape, sorry, Eliza,
It's fine.
over the chair also, okay? Because we just want that hair to not even have a chance to go down on the clothing or up in the neck. So the legs are covered nicely. Is that comfy for you? Not too tight? Okay, does everyone want to just come and have a little bit of a look from where you are? Just so you know that it's got to go over not too tight, so I can get 2 fingers in there. Okay. But make sure it's over the chair as well. Okay. Probably not the best chair for cutting someone's hair, but we'll make do, won't we? Okay, does anyone need me to re-demonstrate how to do that? No? I will come around, and if you do need help while we're doing this in pairs, that's, you know, just ask questions. It's not a test. It's just an observation from me, okay? So pair up. If you need to pull a chair out a little bit, that's fine. I'll come around and bring some towels. I'll give you that. Towels and capes. So just make sure we're in
Okay.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm slack. That's it.
I'm speaking to Libby.
We have the technology.
Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to source some information on ethical industry practices and conduct day-to-day work activities ethically. Can anyone tell me what it means to be ethical or have ethics?
Honest.
Yes. Very good.
Have
Reliable.
trust with clients.
Yes.
Not
Trust.
misleading.
Reliable. Not misleading. Okay, so we've got to be honest. We've got to be caring, don't we, as
Yeah.
well?
Empathize.
You know, if clients are coming in, if we're not nice to them, do you think they're going to want to come back? No. So, okay. So, if you have a look at slide 7, I've got a little diagram here, and we've got what it means to be ethical. It means we're not misleading, we're honest, we're reliable, we're hardworking, aren't we? We're fair, we're kind, and we're also a team player. We're a team player in a salon or barber, don't we? Got to. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go to slide 8. I've got, Libby is all about fairness in her business and ethics. So in the service system and in your team member manual, you would have read in the past about what Libby thinks being ethical actually means. And I've just got a little diagram here. So at Just Liberated, our work ethics are, we have a 100% guarantee on all our products and services, don't we? We're qualified. If we're not qualified, we don't say we're qualified, do we? We're responsible. We're consistent. We have to be consistent. Libby really puts a force on being consistent with everything. We're honest. And we have empathy, don't we? We empathise with our clients and even our co-workers. If something's going on, you know, we need to go, hey, are you okay? Is everything all right, don't we? And, you know, and we want to be safe. So safety in the salon, safety for ourselves, safety for our clients. And being fair. We've got to be fair. And that means with fairness comes what? Equality. So equality for all, so everyone has the same chances at doing things. There's, you know, education within the salon is equally important for everybody. That's just an example, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to go onto our computers. If everybody got their computers up, please bring up your internet. We're just going to do a little activity. And we are going to look up some fair trading. So this is all about updating our knowledge, okay? So we're going to go to www. Is everyone with me? www.fairtrading. .newsouthwales.gov.au. And I'm just going to come around and have a little squizzy while mine's taking its time. And this is where we can find the info we need. There we go, Jen. Very good, you guys. Thank you. So this is a place where we can go if we need to update some information and knowledge, isn't it? Where have I done you guys? Excellent. You can see all the different topics through the top. Let's go. Fantastic. Good job, you guys. Excellent. All right, so just another little website that if you feel like you've got 5 minutes and maybe you haven't discussed it in a while for the salon, you can just go home or at work, even get on your phone and have a little look. Okay? Excellent. So in the service system you follow, we know that Libby enforces 100% guarantee, or doesn't she, on all her services and her products. And if the clients aren't happy, it's dealt with straight away, isn't it? We want our clients to be happy, and if we make a mistake or something's not right, we fix it, don't we? Okay? And as a business owner, it is her responsibility. So that's why, again, I've given you the copies of legislation, and that's why we've just done a little activity, because it's really important in business, but it's also important for employees to know how important it is as a business. Okay? So, any questions on ethics? No, it's pretty straightforward, isn't it? Yeah, the legality side to everything. Let me just bring up my little PowerPoint again. Okay, so what we're going to do now, if you want to follow, we'll go to slide 9. Okay, we're going to do question 3. Okay, so question 3, what does it mean to be ethical or have ethics in the workplace? Can anyone tell me some of the answers?
Not misleading.
Not misleading, excellent.
You have to be fair and honest.
Fair and honest, fantastic.
Empathise.
Beautiful, yep.
Kind.
Kind.
Understanding.
Understanding, fantastic. Yep, just liberated work ethics are very important. Makes you a good stylist, doesn't it? Makes your clients want to come back to you. Okay, we're talking about if you're a mean and they're not going to want to come back, are they? Okay. All right. Everyone good to go? Okay, so now we're going to look at updating general knowledge of the industry of hairdressing and barbering. and how to do it regularly. Okay, so learning comes from the workplace. Does everyone agree?
Yes.
Yeah, and also things like this, training sessions. Where else do we do some learning? Training seminars. Where else can we learn?
Team members.
Team members, yeah. Online, like we've just been doing in the past 2 sessions. We've been going online, haven't we?
YouTube videos.
Excellent, yep, YouTube. Okay, so knowledge also comes from examples. So when the reps come in, so if we do a training night with Goldwell, is it really effective? So when Goldwell comes in and they teach you a new colouring technique that you didn't know, and you go, wow. And then what can you do with that? You go to your clients. I just learned the best technique. And you pass on that knowledge and information. So there again, we're talking about why it's so important to always update and keep updating your knowledge and your skills in your industry. Okay, so slide 10, if we move along nicely. Okay, I've just got a little picky, so these are the latest trends and up-to-date knowledge and skills. And
I thought the one before was. Yeah, these are all the latest trends, aren't they?
well, yes, so you can compare from the 80s. So if you go back to slide 9, have a look at those beautiful do's.
That Demi Moore.
And then, yes, and then go on to 10 and we can really see, and that shows you why we have to update, don't we? We're not going to give Sam the Demi Moore hairdo now, unless it's in trend, mind you. But we can't get stuck, can we? We have to keep updating and be current. Okay. So let's go back to slide 10 now, and we're going to go to our workbooks. And we're going to talk about, obviously, ways to update general knowledge and why we do it. Okay, with the types of info we need. So, how do we update this general knowledge that we need? And why? Why do we need to keep updating it? We just looked at the 80s and we looked at today. So, okay, how do we update it?
Training.
Training, yep.
Looking at magazines and thinking, oh, these are the latest trends, so we should probably put these on our TV ad or magazines so
Fantastic.
people know,
Yeah,
so say they can come and say, oh, I want this new latest trend.
excellent. What about online, internet?
Yeah.
So that's how we update our knowledge, don't we? So we get on the internet,
Yeah,
our
we
trade
have to keep
plans.
updating because we wouldn't be proper in our profession. We won't
Absolutely.
leaders in our profession.
Absolutely, and we always want to be leaders. That's why Libby's worked so hard. Okay, seminars, okay. These give us the updated knowledge and skills, don't they? And we are in a changing industry. We are forever changing. Look at that growth. Look at those stats. You know, if we're not updating, we're going to stay behind, aren't we? Okay, so... And a really good reference is in session 1 when we touched on, you know, how we influence other industries. So if we keep stuck back in the 80s, you know, okay, so TV and catwalk, they're going to go, what are these people doing? Like we're still there, okay? So we are the creative people that influence them, aren't we? Okay. So let's go to slide 11. Has anyone got any questions about anything? Yes, Eliza.
I've kind of been wondering, so say like Sarah, she's off sick at the moment.
Yes.
Is there like do you have like like in school, do you have a certain amount of days that you're allowed to be off, like say you're only allowed 5 days off and then you're not allowed to have any more days off? Or are you allowed to have as many days off as you want?
Yeah, no, you're not allowed to.
10 days a year.
Yeah, 10 days a year. If something does happen, you get a doctor's certificate, so if it was something serious.
Like a bad or allergic reaction?
Yeah, you just need a doctor's certificate. You get 10 paid sick days. Then you have to do that. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Okay, so we've done question 4. Now we're going to go on to slide 11. Let's keep going. Okay, so we're going to monitor current industry developments and issues. Okay, so it's changed a lot. We're looking at organics now, aren't we? Organic products are huge. What a change in the industry. Okay. So, you know, the internet has really taken over as well. The last 10 years, I mean, look at online now, you can, as I've spoken about before, you know, you can look at how to colour your own hair. You can watch how to cut your own hair if you really want to. People aren't really looking at magazines so much anymore, or newspapers. It's all about the internet, isn't it, really? So, with the internet comes current development. So we're talking organics, aren't we? Like huge. We're talking tools of the trade. I mean, if you have a look at the slide on 11, look how this lady's having her hair permed. You know, and then look up in the corner here, you know, she's got the smelly, you know, the way that, you know, I was definitely trained. And the smell was just horrific. Well, now we have more organic perming solutions where they don't smell that bad at all, really, and sometimes the hair actually feels better afterwards, okay? And we're looking at like the technology with hair transplanting and making wigs, like what a transformation in our industry, just huge stuff. And then also we've got safety in our industry more now, so we've got to have everything tested and tagged, don't we, for WH&S, and if we don't, we get in a lot of trouble, okay? So the chemicals are toxic that we use, I mean, let's face it, they're not as toxic as what they were. You know, we're trying, they're inventing, aren't they? And it is a good thing for our skin. We're finding hairdressers aren't having as many reactions anymore, which is a great thing. Okay, so we've just excelled. The industry is just fast paced now, forever changing. We've got Instagram, we've got Facebook, we've got, you know, all your social media, which is really having an effect on the hair and barbering industry, which we are a part of, which is a great thing. Okay. So we were talking about the growth in the industry earlier with those stats, and I mean, can you imagine the competition now within salons? I mean, there used to be a couple in a little town, and now there's like 20 in Maitland, you know, in one little area. So we've got to be up to date. We've got to know our laws and legislations. We've got to know the latest trends, because that's what the clients want and the business owners. Okay. Can anyone tell me about any issues that we've become more aware of in our industry? I just mentioned a few.
Aeration of your chemicals in salons now. They're actually got filtering devices, whereas back in the day they never had that.
Yeah.
Different ways to curl hair, because sometimes, like the picture in the girl, sometimes it could hurt.
Technology. Absolutely.
Like sometimes, I don't know, but sometimes they might, like back in the day, they might have had different ways to dry hair, but now all you have to basically do is just pick up the hair dryer, turn it on, and then just dry
The
it.
ladies used to actually sit under those big domes, and that's how they would dry.
And now you've got this small device, and you just turn
You
it on.
bet. When I started, we didn't have straightening irons. We had to brush. We had a blow dryer. We used to use curling rods. I didn't think I even had a wand back in, you know, when we started. And foiling just came in, you know, like now everyone has foils. So, you know, big changes. Big. Okay, so it's the responsibility of the business owners, the trainers, suppliers, to keep informed and updated about all of this new technology, the safety, the testing, the tagging, okay? So what we're going to do now, we're going to get on our computer and do one more little exercise. We're going to look up one of my favourite websites, and this is all about new developments and the latest trends, okay? So let's go to www.rapstc.com.au, and it's on your slide. This is an advisory council, so it tells you everything there is to do with hair right now. Fantastic. Lots of different skills that have come out. Fantastic. Yep, very good. So, it's on your PowerPoint. Take a look. I really recommend it. I really love the information that's on there. Let me just get back to my slide. So I have to get in and out all the time. Okay, now we're going to go to our workbook really quick. Let's get this one over. We're going to look at question number 5. What are some examples of issues that we're more aware of in the hair and barbering industry? Can anyone tell me?
Bad smells.
Smells, toxins,
Environment.
environment, pollution,
Allergic reactions.
reactions,
Safety.
safety, very good. The chemicals actually affect us, don't they? They really do. Okay. Health issues, so many health issues.
Electrical things near water.
WH&S, you bet. Okay. And standing all the time.
See.
I remember when I first started getting my hair coloured when I was a teenager, of it starting to burn and itch,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to hate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Chemical reaction to the scalp.
But it doesn't now, so
No.
that's useful now.
The chemicals are way more gentle now, aren't they? Okay. Let's keep going. All right, now we're going to share some info. So part of this course entails us to share some information with clients, and I want you all to do that. I want you to go to your clients tomorrow, and I want you to share something that you've learned, okay, from today's session. So I don't want to make it too overwhelming, but what I want you to do now is actually, we'll go around the room again. I want you to just give me a really brief what you've learned so far this morning. Something simple, or it could be something that you're really like, wow. So Leanne, what's something you have learnt?
Everything's changing with the years going on. It's more updated with everything.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it has. We've just excelled, haven't we? And rocketed to the sky almost, haven't we? Look at that perming ways, you know, crazy. Jen, what have you learnt?
Yeah, just different techniques have changed over the years and more aware of the chemicals that we're using.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Always remember that PPE. We're going to do that in the next session. We're going to really touch on that. Mel, what's something you learnt?
Just all the technology now that are, is your chemicals as well as your products that you use.
Yeah.
Just the different metals they use just in your scissors alone.
Yeah.
And the price from a good pair to a great pair, like,
Yeah,
they're very expensive tools.
they really are. Yeah. Olivia, what's something you learnt today, Stefan?
How advanced like technology come from the maybe 20, 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's insane, isn't it? And do yourself a favour, get online and really study, you know, where we've come from and where we are now. You'll be surprised. Jeremy, what's something you've learned today?
About the RAPS CC website.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, go in and really have a look. You'll find lots of different tools in there and knowledge.
Yeah.
So, Eliza, what's something you learned today?
I've learnt that how far everything has come. So, quite a while ago, we had these big hair dryers, and now we see all the girls get, like, you see your mums getting, or big sisters drying their hair with this thing that's probably about a quarter of the size of what we used to.
Tiny and handheld, aren't they?
And all the different technology that have gone through the years.
Yeah.
And how amazing it's gotten.
Yeah, it has. And Matt, what about you?
I was amazed to learn that in the past year that the growth of 0.8% is $6.5
Yeah, 5 years.
billion,
Yeah,
5
5
years,
years, the
$6.5
growth.
billion, which
It's-
says it's insane.
Isn't that just mind blowing? When I was looking up and I thought, you know what, I've got to share this because I couldn't believe it. And then when you did the sums, which I didn't do, I just found it fascinating.
804.5 billion.
Crazy. Crazy, crazy. All right, we're nearly there. Nearly there, let's move on. Okay, so what did we do today? We found information, we talked about specific laws, regulations and ethics. I really like talking about ethics. I think it's a good reminder, isn't it? And how they're important in our industry and for us personally as people. We updated our general knowledge. We looked at current industry developments and changes such as technology, safety issues such as pollution into our waterways. We talked about the chemicals. We shared our new knowledge as a group. We learned where to find information, how to find information, and we talked about why it's important just to keep updating our knowledge and our skills so we can share it. Does that make sense to everybody? I've tried to keep it very simple and circular with what Libby's in the system. Okay, so we are done. Thank you so much for having me. I'm going to hand around the feedback sheets. You all did really well. Really well. Thank you for participating. I know sometimes simple things can seem a bit, especially for the seniors, but it's important for the juniors to keep practicing and for us to keep practicing and learning as well. So Matt, I'll pass you that one. Thanks, Leanne. Thanks, Jen.
I do have one question about hairdressing. What do you think? So we've gone from.
Thank you.
As we all know, we keep going up generations in hairstyling.
Yeah.
So I just want to ask you, what do you think next generation's hairstyle thing will be like?
Oh,
Good question, Eliza. I really don't know. Do you know what I have seen in the last
Because you're a hairstylist.
few years is that the 80s have kind of come back, like crimping was back.
I remember I used to get my hair crimped.
I love it.
I had my hair too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it works, I don't know if I'm gay. Plug it in.
Actually, Eliza, perming has also made a little comeback because the chemicals are less harsh. I've seen a little comeback in that.
Even some of the 40 styles have come back where instead of just doing a GHD curl, they curl but then they smooth it so it's that ripple effect through the hair. So when they, just
That Judy Garland.
Yes. Yeah, just like the
Marilyn
40s,
Monroe.
yeah, early 50s sort of thing.
The
has
brushed
come
out
back.
curl, which becomes
Yeah.
that nice wave, that sleek wave. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, did everyone enjoy that? It wasn't too complicated. I know ethics and laws can be a little bit boring, but I tried to keep it fun and simple and creative as I can. So you can either leave these on the table or give them to me. I'm going to see you on Friday at 10 a.m. We're just going to do a basic hands-on activity. We're going to talk about the environment, pollution and PPE. Okay, it's only going to take about 15 minutes and we'll be done. But thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. You all participated very well. I love the questions, the feedback. So thank you very much and I'll see you Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Keep jumped you. One more, done. This is easy.
I think